Good morning. This is part two of my show, my series on American Jobs Stolen. And today I'm going to start with just a real quick, in case you don't know, we talked about independent contractors yesterday, especially in the computer field and different tech customer service, tech support, all of that. Let me tell you how it works because there's a third thing that you have to understand. There's a third party involved. Independent contractors don't just answer a want ad or an email. Independent contractors usually go through a recruiter, or as many of you will know them, a headhunter. And the headhunter, you're going to see, I'm going to be using a pie as an example. The headhunter gets a piece of the pie. So it's not just an independent contractor going into Corporation X, sitting down for an interview, getting the job, and then getting paid by the corporation. That's not how it works. The independent contractor actually gets paid by the headhunter, the recruiter. And the recruiter gets a piece of the independent contractor's salary. Now, in America, with an American recruiter, an American headhunter, what happens is the recruiter puts out emails that this job is available because Corporation X called the recruiter and said, I need this. I need a person to do this project. The recruiter advertises the job. The independent contractor has no idea who they're working for or who they're applying for a job with. They meet with the headhunter. And then what happens is the contractor, the future employee says to the recruiter, well, this is my hourly rate. It's $50 an hour. And the recruiter goes back to Corporation X and says, I found a guy to do your job, your project. It's $100. It's $75 an hour. Okay? Now, the independent contractor said $50 an hour. But the recruiter said $75 because the recruiter is going to take $25 an hour of every hour the independent contractor works. So I hope I explained that properly. That is the way it works. Okay? Now, the person who's doing the hard work, that's working the 40, 50, 60 hours a week to get the project done, they get the bigger piece of the pie. Now, some of these headhunters have 50, 60, 100 people who they have recruited to work at different corporations, and so they make a good living, and the contractors make a good living as well. Okay? That's how it works when you're talking American headhunters. Here's what's going on right now and how our American jobs, especially in the tech field, are getting stolen. There is a new headhunter out there. Okay? They are many times businesses run by American citizens. However, they are not American-born citizens in many cases. What they do is they set up brick and mortar offices in America legally. I mean, they're American. But what it's called is kind of an offshore recruitment. And what these people do is they contact these big multi-billion-dollar corporations who are looking for independent contractors to do certain IT projects, tech projects for them, web development, coding, things like that. Even to answer their phones, tech support. They contact Corporation X. And they say, well, I've got somebody that can do this job for you. And it's going to cost you $50 an hour. Okay? And Corporation X says, well, wow, I'm paying the other guy $75 an hour. So I'm going to save $25 an hour to go with this company. And here's what happens in this pie. The headhunter, the outsourcing headhunter, for that $50 an hour, he's going to take $40. And the person who's actually doing the job, the independent contractor, is going to get $10 an hour. And guess where that independent contractor lives? Not in New Jersey, not in Philadelphia. India. Yeah, India, the country. Russia, the country. Now, you might say, well, oh my God, did Corporation X know that they're getting they're employing someone who is not in America, who is not an American citizen? Oh, they know. They don't care. And they don't care because, did you just see the math I did? They are saving $25 per hour for every hour the Indian independent contractor or the Russian independent contractor works. Now, say this project is a 6-month project, they're going to work 40, 50 hours a week. That's a lot of money that they're going to save. And what's actually really sad, because I had a kind of a whistleblower come to me with a personal message and say, you know, I know a company. They named the company. I'm not going to name the company. But there is this one company in America that targets certain kinds of companies, and they call them a sweatshop for Indian nationals. Because here's the thing, these Indian nationals over in India, they're making $10 an hour to do a job that they should be being paid $75 an hour for. That's what they could make if they would come to America legally, become citizens, and apply for a job as an American citizen. Now, whether they know this or not, I don't know. Maybe in India, $10 an hour is good. In America, we all know $10 an hour is working at McDonald's, not developing high-tech computer programs for multi-billion-dollar companies. You make a little more money than $10 an hour to do that, right? But it's attractive. It's very attractive. For the big corporations, they win. Of course, these offshore kind of backdoor recruiters, headhunters, they win because they're getting the bigger piece of the salary pie. And these India guys over in India and Russian people, they can afford to probably support their families. Everybody wins except, guess who? The American worker whose job was just given to a guy in India, to a guy in Russia. And we sit here in this country and we fret over DACA and Mexicans coming here and stealing our lawn care jobs and who's, you know, coming to help work on our farms and dairy farms, and we fret about those jobs. How about an American citizen who went to college to learn computer programming, to learn web development, to learn how to code, whose job is being given to some dude who's never even been to America because of these backdoor recruitment companies, these offshore outsourcing people. And this came home to roost for me on December 31st. Actually, I found out about it on January 1st, and this is now funny. And I may do a comedy routine about it, but you all have been very patient, and you do deserve an explanation for my nervous breakdown the first couple of weeks in January. My husband was informed through an email that after working 5 years diligently with awesome reviews for this company, he had a 5-year, his contract kept getting renewed every 6 months. 5 years. Now, after 5 years, you start to get comfortable with the salary you're making. He got raises, he got bonuses, constantly getting great written reviews. Everybody loved working with him. And on December 31st, he got an email. Well, you know, we really loved working with you, but right now, we can't say we're going to renew your contract. December 31st, the last day of my husband's contract with this particular company. But the email dangled a carrot too. And this is why I was so pissed off. Because everybody has a boss, right? So what actually happened was, we don't want to renew your contract right now. But wait, don't be upset. Don't fret. Don't lose your mind. We're going to fight for you. The headhunter who hired you, the company you've been working for 5 years, we're going to fight. We really want you on this next project that we're starting. So just hang tight. We're having some meetings. Once everybody's back from their 12, 13, 14-day Christmas break, we're going to fight for you. So hang tight. We'll keep you posted. But guess what? While they were having their meetings and fighting to keep my husband on this next project, we didn't have any income. We had no money coming in. And I just told you just a scenario of what independent contractors make. It's a lot of money to lose. What am I supposed to do? Call the electric company and say, we're waiting to hear back. They're having meetings about our future. We'll pay that bill when we find out. And this happened. It happened for 3 weeks. He kept getting emails, my husband. We're still fighting for you. We really are fighting to keep you on this project. We all want you except for this one top dude who actually is in a different country. And again, I'm not naming any companies. My husband actually, and I am going to put this caveat in, my husband loved working with the people he worked with. They're good people. And they did fight for him. They really did. And he hopes that maybe one day he can work with them again. They are really nice people, and he respects them. And they respected him. And they did fight for him. But the problem was, what was my husband supposed to do? Sit around watching TV all day? Getting into General Hospital, watching Dr. Oz? While he waits for people to have meetings to decide his future? And it went 1 week, and then it went 2 weeks, and it went almost 3 weeks. And, you know, my husband said, no, I can't do this. So what my husband did, and I'm so proud of him for doing it, is he didn't spend his time watching Dr. Oz or drinking or partying. He was looking for a new job. And you know what? Because of his wonderful reputation in this field, he went on one interview and got a new job. And then he got to go back to the company that kicked him to the curb in favor of outsourcing to India. He got to tell them, you know what? You can stop having your meetings. You can stop fighting for me. I found a new job. And they actually were very nice about it. They said, we can't blame you. And we're so sorry. But again, how long was he supposed to wait? Do you know what those carrots being dangled in front of us cost us? Do you know what 3 weeks with no pay cost us? It cost us almost $8,000. And that is a damn shame. How many of you could afford to lose $8,000? So here's the lessons learned. We did learn some serious lessons. First of all, the writing was on the wall for months. And the reason why I said this was comedic is my husband knew, but he didn't tell me till we put our forks down after our pork and sauerkraut dinner on January 1st. That, oh, by the way, honey, I won't be going to work tomorrow. I'm like, what? And of course, we had a huge fight. And I was yelling and screaming. And he's like, you're not taking this well. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to take it? How does any spouse take it when the breadwinner of the family says, oh, by the way, no money going to be coming in. Don't know when there will be. Yeah, no, I didn't take it well. But at the end of the day, I was not angry with my husband. I'm angry at this new system, this new way that big corporations are doing business. They make billions of dollars selling products to American consumers, and yet they do not want to have American workers in their employ because American workers are too expensive. We expect to get paid for the high-tech work that we do. How about that? What also pissed me off is while my husband was not earning an income for 3 weeks, these people were having meetings and they were getting paid. And at the end of the day, when my husband got his new job, which is awesome, because the new job actually advertises, and I'm not going to name that company either, but they advertise we are 100% American based. All of our IT people, our customer service people, our web developers, 100% American. And we really appreciate that. And the fact that they advertise that means that this is becoming a big deal. American citizens do not want to call an 800 number when their computer's broken and get, hello, this is Najir, how may I help you? Yes, what? What you say? Now look, I'm not making fun of Indian people. Please, put your thumbs away. But we've all experienced this, us English-speaking American people. We've had it with calling call centers. We've had it when we call our banks, when we call our computer customer service, our cable customer service, our internet customer service. We can't understand a word these people are saying. And that says to me that the company who sold us the product that we now need help with doesn't care. They got our money when we bought their product. They don't give a shit if we can't understand the people that are supposed to help us when it's not working. That pisses me off. And the other thing that pissed me off is that hardworking American citizens who want to work, who are good, awesome at what they do, are getting kicked to the curb with very little notice because of these offshore seedy companies. I'm going to tell you another story that someone PM'd to me. True story, because I checked it out and I did get confirmation. Sometimes when a contractor doesn't speak good English, somebody from the headhunter's office, a senior person, will actually do a phone interview. Some of these jobs are taken by phone interview, not face-to-face. So the corporation will never meet in person the person who's doing the job for them. They will get a higher level person who will present better at the interview, do the phone interview, get the job, and then the junior guy over in India or Russia or Pakistan is doing the work. That's how seedy this is. This is how seedy. And just like we pay illegal immigrants $2 an hour, $4 an hour, that we would have to pay an American $15 an hour for, these people are being used just as much. Because the person, the headhunter, is making so much more money that should be going to the contractor, which is the way it works when there's an American headhunter working with an American contractor. Now, like I said, it was a rough 3 weeks, but I'm going to say something else, and this is a warning. Because I said there were lessons learned, and there were. One thing was that as my husband kept getting his contract extended and extended, we became comfortable. And if you want to go out there and become an independent contractor, I can tell you this, please don't ever become comfortable. If you start believing that all of a sudden your independent contractor job is permanent, you are fooling yourself, because it's not. Like I said, my husband worked for this same company for 5 years, the longest he's ever contracted for anyone. And it was ripped out from under him in a New York minute, as soon as they could find someone to do his job cheaper. Okay? Second, if you're going to be an independent contractor, especially if you have a family, children to support, you need to not spend every dime that you make, because you're going to make good money and you're going to be tempted to spend it. Many people asked us why we don't do this or why we don't have a nicer house or whatever. This is why. What happened this month is why. Because we could pay our bills. We had to cut back on luxuries. We didn't go out to eat. I didn't buy any luxury items. I canceled a dental appointment I had because it wasn't a necessary appointment, and I rescheduled it. I canceled my hair appointment. As you can tell, my hair is in desperate need. I did not buy any books. I did not buy anything for the games that I play. We all cut back. We spent less money at the grocery store, and we did not go out to eat or go out to have any fun. But luckily, we don't spend everything we make. We always put some away for that rainy day or that rainy month. And I suggest that anyone who wants to get into independent contracting do the same. You might be making $100,000 or $90,000 a year more than you've ever had in your life, but please don't spend it. Don't spend it all. Put a little bit each week away for that rainy day. Because it's going to come. And it's going to come when you least expect it, just when you're getting comfortable. You know, my husband and I were thinking about taking a nice vacation. Maybe next year. We're not going to do that now. Because the money we would have spent on that vacation is going into savings. It's going into an account for our rainy day. Which could come in 6 months. Right now he's got a 6-month contract. It could lead to a permanent job, or at the end of 6 months, he could be told, well, nice working with you. You're done. There are very few permanent jobs out there. Believe me, my husband was looking for them. For web developers and coders. Everybody wants a short-term employee. And what we need to do in this age of Donald Trump telling us America first, keep American jobs in America, punishing American companies who sell products to American consumers. They're supposed to be getting punished for doing this very thing. Giving American jobs to people who have never even been in America, thousands of miles away. They're supposed to be getting punished for that. And not a Trump supporter, as you know, but I really hope that's one part of Donald Trump's campaign promise that he will keep. That these offshore headhunters will be kicked out, at least of the tech world, so that my husband, who is so good at what he does and works so hard and is one of the best employees any company will ever hire, that he doesn't have to compete with someone who's never stepped foot on American soil. Someone who certainly never served honorably in the Marine Corps to protect his country, as my husband did. Maybe I'm biased, but I certainly believe that he should have first dibs at a job before someone who's never even set foot or looked at the Statue of Liberty, set foot on our soil. And one last thing I want to tell you about a trip I took to the Cayman Islands in 1992. I fell in love with the Cayman Islands, and I asked around if I could get a job there and move there. I was single. I had no ties to Lancaster. And you know what I was told by the Cayman Islands? Sure, you can come here, you can get a job, but in 2 years, we're going to advertise your job in the local paper. This was, of course, before Facebook and internet and all that. And if a citizen of the Cayman Islands wants your job, you're out. You're fired. Because in the Cayman Islands, any Caymanian who wants a job has a job. And we hire Caymanians before we hire foreigners. Wouldn't it be nice if American companies did the same? Political Paula, out.